Class 7, Chapter 9. This chapter is on soil. This chapter can be divided into 7 lessons. Lesson 1, Soil Profile. Lesson 2, Importance of Soil. Lesson 3, Different Kinds of Soil. Lesson 4, Formation of Soil. Lesson 5, Erosion of Soil. Lesson 6, Soil Pollution. Lesson 7, Protection of Soil. Soil is a very important naturally available resource for the planet Earth. Soil refers to the name given to some part of the planet Earth which is very useful to living beings. Soil is so important that it takes words and words and words to explain the nature of the soil and the importance of soil. For your class purpose, you will learn soil in very simple way. Therefore, I have divided the lesson into 7 important areas. We will try to understand the first one, the soil. Now here, I have given you an image. This image will explain to you soil profile. The word profile refers to a kind of a picture that you can describe. You know, you always put your profile picture on your mobile, on the WhatsApp. That means the moment they look at you, look at your image, they find out he is so and so, he is so and so, his quality is so and so, etc. You can remember many things. So in the soil profile also, we have the same thing. For the convenience, soil profile can be divided into 4 horizons. Horizons means layers. Now, the first one is horizon O or horizon Z, or horizon they call 0 sometimes. You see here the plants are growing. That is the horizon O. This contains humus. Humus is the material which is very soft in nature, and it has come from the debris of plants and animals. Once they were living, they are dead, and they were worked upon by microbes to form into humus. Humus is very rich in nutrients required for the growth of plants. Please remember, humus is very important material for plants to get their nutrition. Humus is the only thing plants use. Instead of that, you may use now the supplements also. Humus is very important layer. And then comes humus may be about 3 to 4 inches in layer on the earth. It differs from different parts of the earth. Horizon A is the immediately below the horizon O. This is called topsoil. This contains soil particles which includes small sand particles, and also dead and decaying living material. That means once they were living, now they are dead and decaying. The dead and decaying material are worked upon by the animals and also microbes to form them into humus, and the humus moves upward. That is the topsoil. It is typically dark in color. Normally, topsoil is dark in color, but the next zone called the zone B, is very important. This may contain larger grains. It may also contain some water. This is very important for plant roots to grow deep and get anchorage. This area is often called a zone of accumulation because it holds water and it accumulates water. It accumulates the dissolved minerals and salts that is present in the soil itself. Therefore, this is a very important zone for the plant growth. You must remember that. Horizon B are the subsoil. And then comes this zone C, which contains larger rocks, larger sand area, and a large amount of water area where water can be stored for a thing, because below this horizon, say, we have the igneous rock called the rock bed where water cannot penetrate. But there may be here and there small areas where water can seep deep into that one and they form deep water or underground water. So please remember that the soil profile gives you a picture of the soil. By looking at the picture, you can tell the quality of the soil. You may learn more about this in the higher classes, but for your class, for your examination purpose, you must know the importance of O horizon, importance of humus, importance of uh, zone A, importance of zone B, importance of zone C. All the four zones are very important. You learn more about in your textbooks. Hope you will read your textbooks and try to answer all the questions. In this slide, I have just discussed to you the importance of soil, whether it is subsoil or whether it is topsoil or whether it is the zone C. They are very important for the plants to anchorage. That means plants must hold firmly in the soil, and soil is very important for that. Without anchorage, plants may fall down. You have seen when the rain is very much, when there is a storm, plants may get away from the plant, they lose their holding and they fall down. Therefore, anchorage is very important for plants to grow, and all kinds of soil provide anchorage to plants, whether it is a small plant or a large plant, whether it is a small crop plant or a tree, they require anchorage space. Soil is the only anchorage place for them. You may ask me if that plants are grown in water also. So water may be there, but water plants are very different. We are talking here about the plants that grow on the soil. For the plant that grow on the soil called terrestrial plants require soil for anchorage. They provide minerals and water for plants to grow. And plants uh, plants and animals get their water supply also from the stored water from the soil. Home for millions of microbes. Soil is the home for millions of microbes. Microbes may include viruses, bacteria, fungi, animals. All kinds of living beings which are not seen by the naked eyes are called microbes. Imagine 1 gram of soil may contain crores and crores of microorganisms. Soil was used in the earlier days for construction of houses and buildings. When cement was not invented and manufactured, soil was the only source for giving man protection from sun and the rain. Soil is life supporting. Without soil, life cannot exist on the planet Earth. So try to know more and more about the soil in your textbook or from the net. Here I have again given the image, one image of the soil layers. This is just to show that the topmost area, what we call zone A, will contain plants. You see the soil is almost green in color. Either they have plants or they have animals. So the topmost part of the soil is very, very rich in plants and animals. Maybe if you look at the earth as a whole, the topmost part that is visible from the aeroplane or from the satellite will be the first layer called the zone of living beings. That is the zone of living beings. And then comes the litter, which we cannot see. Litter is nothing but the dead and decaying plant material. They will be inside, and some animals convert the litter into humus, and that humus is very rich in nutrients required for only for plants. Please remember, humus is not required for animals. And then comes the rock and the sand area where we have minerals, we have water, and there may be very fine sand particles which we call minerals, and this will be important because it may contain minerals like iron, manganese, and other minerals. The color of the soil depends upon the type of the mineral present in that. We will learn that in the next few lessons. Larger rocks and fragments of rocks are found beneath that, and they help in storing water also, and therefore it's called sometimes the layer of where the layer is called layer of storage sometimes. And beneath that you have the rock. Rock is impervious to water. Water will remain in this area, and this water will help the plants to grow. Deep inside this rock, if you bore the rock, and you may get water layer, and that's called underground water. And beneath the rock, if you go beneath the rock for several meters, several 80 to 90 meters down, then you may get oil and other resources which also belong to soil, but it's called Earth's resources. We will go to the next chapter. I have here acknowledged and given thanks to the creators of the images from Creative Commons, which we are using it for you to understand the nature of the soil. Hope you will read this lesson well and try to prepare the lesson for your examination, especially the zones of the soil are important for you. Please try to remember how to write the image of the